Toyota built its empire on boring but bulletproof. But in 2025, that strategy has backfired. 5 brands have dethroned the king. One is now the biggest car maker in the world. One makes more profit per car than Ferrari. One doesn't even build cars yet, but it's already worth billions more. How? Because the game has changed. It's no longer about who makes the best car. It's about who owns the future. And Toyota, they're playing catch-up. So who are these 5 brands? The answers are shocking. And the last one? Might just buy Toyota out. 1. Tesla, the software company that happens to build cars. Let's start with the obvious one. Love it or hate it, Tesla is no longer just a car company. It's a tech behemoth on wheels. Back in 2010, Tesla IPO'd at $17 a share. Now, try over $350. And even with market volatility and Elon's Twitter antics, in 2025, Tesla is still valued well over $1 trillion, more than 4 times Toyota's $225 billion market cap. How? Because Tesla plays a different game. While Toyota perfects engines, Tesla writes software. While legacy brands argue over hybrids, Tesla drops over-the-air updates that give your car new features overnight. One's building sedans. The other is building an ecosystem. Sure, the Cybertruck rollout was chaos. Stainless steel panels that don't align, delivery delays, quality control nightmares, and don't even get us started on the door handles. But here's the thing. Tesla's value isn't just in the vehicles, it's in the batteries, the supercharger network, the AI chips, the full self-driving dream, even if it's still in beta, and the fact that when you say electric car, most people still think Tesla. Their Model Y became the best-selling car in the world in 2023. Not best EV, not best in the US. We're talking global. Over 1.2 million units sold in a single year. Toyota has no single model that's come close since the Corolla's peak. And even if you think Tesla's overrated, Wall Street doesn't. Its valuation is tied to potential, autonomy, energy, robo-taxis. Stuff that sounds sci-fi but has billions in R&D backing it. And let's be honest, every other automaker is playing catch-up. Even Toyota. In 2023, Toyota CEO Koji Sato openly admitted they were behind in EV development. Their big EV push? It came years after Tesla already had 4 mass-market electric models and a charging network so good, Ford and GM asked to join it. That's like McDonald's asking to rent Burger King's fryers. Of course, Tesla has its flaws. Build quality inconsistencies, questionable workplace practices, a CEO who tweets like it's a sport. But from a pure brand value and influence standpoint, Tesla is the Apple of autos. And Toyota is still operating like it's 2012. Next up is the brand that just knocked Tesla off the EV throne. And they didn't even need Elon to do it. 2. BYD, the silent giant. That's beating everyone. You may have never driven one. You may have never seen one. But BYD, short for Build Your Dreams, is now the world's best-selling EV brand. Yes, you read that right. In late 2023 and early 2024, BYD officially overtook Tesla in global EV deliveries. BYD sold 3 million new electrified vehicles in 2023 alone. That includes pure EVs and plug-in hybrids. Tesla? Just under 1.8 million. So how did a company that started off making batteries for phones become one of the most valuable car makers on Earth? Simple. BYD didn't follow the Silicon Valley playbook. They didn't hype. They didn't tweet. They just executed. Backed by Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway, who invested in them way back in 2008. BYD methodically scaled its vertical integration. They make their own batteries, their own chips, their own platforms. Hell, they even make the buses that take people to rival dealerships. And while Toyota was still hesitating over full electrification, BYD went all in. Their Seal, Dolphin, and Han EVs are priced aggressively, packed with features, and aimed at every segment from affordable to premium. In China, they're everywhere. And now they're expanding aggressively into Europe, Southeast Asia, South America, and soon Australia and the Middle East. And the best part? They're profitable. In 2023, BYD's margins on EVs exceeded those of most legacy automakers. And they're growing. One big reason? The Blade battery. Developed in-house, it's cheaper, more stable, and takes up less space. No cobalt, no fancy cooling systems, and it just works. It's what powers much of BYD's lineup, and it's starting to be sold to other automakers too. So while Toyota sticks with hybrids and inches towards solid-state batteries, BYD is dominating the largest car market in the world and exporting that dominance globally. And despite being relatively unknown in the West, BYD's valuation keeps climbing. As of 2025, it's north of $120 billion and rising fast. Oh, and fun fact, BYD stopped making gas-only cars back in 2022. Meanwhile, Toyota still sells diesels in some regions. Next up is the comeback story of the decade, one that went from cheap punchline to premium powerhouse, and is now worth more than you might think. 3. Hyundai Kia, the underdog empire that flipped the script. 2 decades ago, Hyundai and Kia were the punchlines of the car world. Cheap, plastic, questionable quality. Your uncle might have bought one, regretted it, and then told you never to touch a Korean car again. Fast forward to 2025, Hyundai Motor Group is one of the most innovative, fastest-growing, and surprisingly luxurious brands in the world. Their valuation has now pulled ahead of Toyota in some market segments, and they're coming for more. So how do they do it? First, design. Starting with the hiring of ex-BMW designer Peter Schreier in the 2000s, Hyundai Kia went from bland and boxy to, damn, that's a good-looking car. The Kia Stinger, the Hyundai Ioniq 5, the Genesis G80. These are not budget beaters, they're head-turners. Next, quality. Hyundai's infamous 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty wasn't just a gimmick, it was a warning shot. We trust our cars more than you do. And it worked. Reliability scores climbed. J.D. Power surveys improved. Consumer trust returned. But the biggest play? Electric vehicles and premium. The Ioniq 5 and 6 aren't just good electric cars. They're better than many Teslas in terms of fit and finish. Meanwhile, Kia's EV6 GT, 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. That's Mustang Mach-E GT territory. And then there's Genesis. Once a weird premium badge on a Hyundai sedan, it's now a full-blown luxury brand. The GV70, G90, and electrified GV60? Legit alternatives to Lexus, Audi, and even Mercedes. And people are noticing. Genesis sales in the US rose over 200% between 2020 and 2024. In Korea, Hyundai dominates. In the US, they're stealing market share from the Japanese. And in Europe, they're the new disruptors. In 2024, Hyundai Motor Group's global market value crossed $270 billion, boosted by strong EV performance, design awards, and a reputation that's been completely rewritten. And the kicker, Toyota was caught so off guard that it publicly announced in 2023 it would study Hyundai's EV strategy for insights. Imagine that. The student becoming the case study. Next up, a company with no factories, no legacy, and yet it's already worth more than Toyota. Because sometimes the idea of a car brand is worth billions. 4. Rivian. The startup. With no past, just a billion-dollar future. How do you compete with giants when you've never built a car before? If you're Rivian, you skip the rules entirely. Founded in 2009 but mostly flying under the radar until the mid-2010, Rivian burst onto the scene in 2021 with a bold pitch. We're building the world's first electric adventure truck. While Tesla was chasing speed and software, Rivian aimed for the dirt. Think Patagonia meets Silicon Valley. Their R1T pickup launched in late 2021 and almost instantly became the darling of early adopters, EV nerds, and anyone who wanted a pickup that didn't burn petrol or look like a blender. And while Toyota was still struggling to electrify the Tacoma, Rivian had already delivered an all-electric truck with quad motors, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, tank turn capability, yes, it spins on the spot, and an optional pull-out camping kitchen. Total Silicon Valley flex. But it wasn't just about the truck. Rivian knew the value was in the ecosystem. Like Tesla, they built their own software, over-the-air update platform, and charging network. But unlike Tesla, they aimed straight at the outdoorsy premium market, a sector nobody else had figured out. By 2022, Amazon had placed an order for 100,000 electric Rivian delivery vans. That partnership alone made Wall Street pay attention. Add a $700 million investment from Ford, and suddenly this tiny company was worth $90 billion at IPO, more than Honda or BMW at the time. Was it overhyped? Sure. The stock dropped hard in 2022 and 2023. But here's what matters. In 2025, Rivian is still worth more than Toyota in terms of price-to-sales ratio. Their production is finally scaling, and customer satisfaction is through the roof. The R1T and R1S, their SUV sibling, both have waitlists. Their design language, clean, round headlights, futuristic yet friendly shapes, has become iconic. And their software? Arguably second only to Tesla. They've also announced the R2, a more affordable crossover EV that's gunning straight for the Model Y and Hyundai Ioniq 5. If it lands, it could open the floodgates to mass market dominance. Rivian's value doesn't come from quantity yet. It's all quality and vision. The takeaway? Rivian is proof that legacy doesn't matter when you build something people genuinely love. And investors? They love Rivian. Next up, a brand that bet the farm on luxury, nailed it, and now makes more profit per vehicle than almost anyone. 5. Ferrari, the billion-dollar brand that prints profit. Let's be clear, Ferrari doesn't need to sell millions of cars to dominate the game. In fact, they don't want to. Ferrari is in a different league. They've built a brand so exclusive, so powerful, and so consistent that in 2025, they're the most profitable car maker per unit, by a laughable margin. While Toyota's average profit per vehicle is under $2,000, Ferrari clears over $100,000 per car. That's not a typo. That's the power of legacy, luxury, and limited production. In 2024, Ferrari sold just under 15,000 cars globally. That's fewer than the number of Camrys Toyota sells in a week. Yet Ferrari pulled in nearly $6 billion in revenue with an operating margin over 27%, the highest in the industry. So how does a company that builds so few cars outrank a titan like Toyota in brand value? Because Ferrari's value isn't tied to volume, it's tied to desire. Every Ferrari is a statement, a rolling sculpture, a badge of success, and unlike most automakers, Ferrari controls its demand by limiting supply. That scarcity is intentional. You can't just walk into a dealership and buy one. You need approval. You need a relationship. That's how they maintain the mystique. And the pricing power. Their cars, SF90, Roma, Purosangue, and the upcoming EV platform aren't just vehicles, they're investments. Some models appreciate in value the second they leave the factory. Good luck pulling that off with a Corolla. And Ferrari isn't just selling cars. They're selling F1 heritage, luxury lifestyle, and even fashion. Their brand expansion into high-end merchandise, branded experiences, and licensing brings in millions, and keeps the name relevant far beyond the showroom. Even Wall Street is obsessed. Ferrari's stock consistently outperforms the broader auto industry. In 2025, its market cap flirts with $100 billion, despite producing 1/100th of Toyota's volume. Ferrari isn't chasing trends, they are the trend. And now they're going electric, with their first EV scheduled to drop in 2025. The world's about to find out what a quiet Ferrari feels like. Spoiler, it'll still be loud, just in a different way. In the end, Ferrari proves that you don't need mass market appeal to dominate the auto world. You just need to make people dream. Next up, one bonus brand that isn't bigger than Toyota yet, but might be the next to join this list. Geely, China's quiet global conqueror. If you don't know the name Geely yet, you will. Geely isn't just another Chinese automaker, it's a full-blown empire. Think of it as the Disney of the car world. They own everything. In the last 15 years, Geely has pulled off one of the most aggressive acquisition sprees in automotive history. They bought Volvo from Ford in 2010, snatched up Lotus, invested in Proton, own half of Smart, even own a chunk of Aston Martin and Daimler. Oh, and they also run Polestar, the breakout EV brand that's gunning for Tesla's cool factor. It's like Geely saw the global car market and said, yeah, we'll take one of everything. But it's not just about buying brands. Geely knows how to build them. Since acquiring Volvo, they've let the Swedes do what they do best: build safe, stylish, high-quality cars, while backing them with deep pockets and cutting-edge tech. The result? Volvo's lineup is more relevant in 2025 than ever, with bestsellers like the XC60, all-electric EX90, and ultra-clean interiors that scream Scandinavian chic. Polestar, meanwhile, has carved out a niche as the cooler cousin to Tesla. Think sleek design, sustainable materials, and Google-powered infotainment that doesn't crash mid-drive. Geely's own Chinese domestic lineup is no slouch either. Their Lynk & Co brand is redefining car ownership with subscription-based models, while Zeekr is delivering high-performance EVs that look like they rolled out of a Blade Runner sequel. And while Toyota has been cautiously dipping its toes into the EV world, Geely is diving headfirst. In 2025, they're running multiple EV platforms powering brands across Europe and Asia, and quietly building the infrastructure that might power everyone else's cars. Financially, Geely hasn't overtaken Toyota's global market cap yet, but analysts are watching closely. The company's sprawling reach, vertical integration, and international expansion make it a serious contender. Geely doesn't get flashy headlines, but they're making power moves while everyone else argues about Cybertruck panel gaps. Don't sleep on them. They might not be bigger than Toyota today, but in 5 years, wouldn't be surprising if they're running the whole game. Every brand on this list proves one thing: car value in 2025 isn't just about reliability or name recognition, it's about innovation, strategy, and vision. Toyota's still a titan, but the game has changed. Tesla owns the hype. BYD owns the volume. Ferrari owns the luxury crown. Rivian owns the dream. And Hyundai Kia? They're the ultimate glow-up. Then there's Geely, watching, buying, building. Which of these brands do you think deserves the crown? Drop your pick in the comments. And if you thought this was wild, wait till you see the car brands that went bankrupt trying to chase this very same success. That video's up next. You're not going to want to miss it.